So I'm leaving Koh Phangan and I'm heading to Europe for the summer, and I've been here for 4 months, and I'm going to describe my lifestyle here and my reflections on my time here as an entrepreneur, remote worker, musician and content creator. So let's go. So there's my ferry, there are my bags. It's time to go, folks, and I'm gonna be back in October for sure. This place is now my 3rd or 4th home. I don't know how many homes I have now, but this is definitely one of them. Planning to spend the winters here moving forward, and life is really good. But I'm just gonna capture this moment in time. Over the last 4 months I've had lots of experiences, gotten to know the scene here a lot more, and basically I'm gonna tell you what it's like for me to be here, which might relate to how it is for you to be here. Maybe not. I'll tell you the things I like, the things I don't like. Stay tuned. So let's examine, what is it like to live on this beautiful tropical island? What were my impressions after all this time? Very good in general. Hold on, I gotta get on that ferry right now. Here we go. Okay, so here we are at Koh Samui, and the first reflection I'll offer is that Koh Phangan is a great place to live. It's an amazing place to live, especially if you're looking for a completely different lifestyle than living in cities in the West, and a completely different lifestyle to whatever you've known in your home country. But it's not completely different, you know, it's got a lot of the conveniences and comforts that you would expect from cities. And yeah, it's very doable. It's very doable. Even as a novice traveler, it's not too exotic. Actually, a lot of people say that they miss living in Thailand when they live in Koh Phangan. So, but for the vibrant expat community, for the people who live there, the foreigner scene, it's one of the best I've ever seen. Everyone's so relaxed, really interesting people, and really laid back. So even here on Samui, just looking around, I remember that the world is a much more frantic place than Koh Phangan. Even the next tropical island over, there's immediately a change of energy. The types of facial expressions you see people wearing, the types of hustle, the way people walk and stuff like that, already more frenzied and chaotic. So yeah, Koh Phangan gives you the opportunity to have a slow life. Now, me being an entrepreneur working on the internet, I still get stressed out sometimes about things, but it's always possible to sort of take a deep breath and remember where you are, stare at the palm trees, listen to the birds and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, the reason I'm going back to Europe is to get a little taste of civilization, flying to London, then Belgrade, 4 days in London, then I go and live in Belgrade again. But yeah, Koh Phangan is a nice little pocket in the world of noise and traffic and chaos where you can find calm. Alright, so one thing that I really am happy to get away from in Koh Phangan is the heat. Oh my god, in Samui right now, it's of course right across the water, so I'm feeling the same thing. Really too damn hot. I've been off the ferry for 1 hour and I'm just really sweaty. And I feel in Koh Phangan amongst the foreigners there's a culture of getting used to the heat, not living with air conditioning, and not as many places. I mean, if you live in Bangkok, almost everywhere you'll go will have air conditioning, but if you live in Koh Phangan, you're gonna end up sitting outside a lot of the time, maybe in the shade, but you don't have, some cafes like Indigo is a really good example. I really like the air conditioning, going inside and getting work done, but for me the most important thing is to get work done, stay comfortable, stay productive, run my business online, and just not feel the entire time like I feel right now after being in the heat for more than an hour. So yeah, it is what it is, and it's one of the things about the place that I'm happy to get away from, in addition to all the things that I'm gonna miss having left that island right now. Alright, so this is the perfect example of what you will not find in Koh Phangan. I'm in the Central Festival Samui shopping mall, and this is the food court, nice and air conditioned. I would prefer to go to a nice restaurant, but I don't know Samui because I've been on Phangan the whole time, and I needed to come to a place where I could chill out and not overheat. It's like 1 p.m. in the day, and it's just like way too hot outside, and I can't handle it. So I came here where I knew I could get some good food and basically just chill out, literally. Interesting to note though that most of the shopping mall is outside, and one time I was here on a bike trip for one day from Samui, from Phangan. I came to Samui to buy some stuff because you need to come to a place like this to have a mall like this and buy stuff that you would tend to buy at a mall like this because it's not available on Phangan. You can mail order a lot of stuff, but I came here and I was just like walking along this thing because I'd been biking for like 2 hours outside after the ferry ride, which was also outside, and waiting for the ferry, which was also outside, and I was just way too hot, and I basically just came here and I was like, oh, and then I found this food court which was actually air conditioned where I could sit and enjoy my life in air conditioning. Yeah, I'm way too sensitive to this stuff, like, I don't know, but the heat in Koh Phangan is really quite a lot. Be prepared for that, and a lot of the things, like, there's lots of restaurants that are inside that do have air conditioning, but a lot of your social life will occur outside because a lot of people don't like that there. So yeah, the rent in New York City is too damn high, and the heat in Koh Samui and Koh Phangan, the heat is too damn high as well. So I'm taking a stand, flying to London. I'll be back here in October when London is too damn cold. Belgrade, Serbia is too damn cold. All of Europe and North America is too damn cold, except for maybe California. And I'll be here again enjoying this tropical heat. But now that I know it's like a perfect like 15 to 25 degrees in Belgrade, Serbia, where I have residence, yeah, I want to go back there and not be in this goddamn fucking heat. Alright folks, so I'm here on the main drag of Samui, basically the Chaweng district, I suppose it's called, and you can witness the devastation of the tourism infrastructure. I mean, basically, like, this is a ghost town. Look at all these businesses, just closed after closed after closed business. You just see it like really, yeah. And this is something that I really did not see in Koh Phangan, where businesses were doing well. People were coming, people were staying longer time. Whereas like Samui, I think, has more of a tradition of this sort of like high-paced, short stay, boom boom tourism. What do I mean by boom boom? Yeah, that's another thing I'll mention in a second. But yeah, people don't stay here as long. They come, they get what they want, and they leave. And since the Thai government has made it very difficult for people to come, compared to countries like Mexico, people have gone to Mexico. When I was in Mexico, I didn't really actually see this sort of like issue. Playa del Carmen and places like that were open as usual with lots of people enjoying despite the pandemic, whereas Thailand, you know, they made it really hard, closed their borders for months and months, then came back with their certificate of entry and the Thailand pass, and this is the result. People lost their livelihoods, lost their businesses. It'll take years to rebuild this. Koh Phangan was a place where people went to escape the pandemic, where things did not really matter there that mattered elsewhere, in the same way, where people were basically able to live their lives. And yeah, also one thing that I don't really see in Koh Phangan as much is this culture of Thai sexpadism, or prostitution basically, which is much more prevalent in places like this, Patong, Pattaya, I think they're supposed to say it. Bangkok, you see lots of people there who come to get their banged, cock, whatever I just said. But basically, this is a place where that was happening. People would fly in, get what they want, fly out, whereas Phangan is a place where people come long term to set up a lifestyle, to explore alternative ways of being, and thus the pandemic has hit it much less hard. Alright, so here we are on a beanbag chair at Samui Airport, which is arguably, maybe not arguably, the most beautiful airport in the world. And basically, yeah, I'm here, flying out, and a lot of people say that Koh Phangan should not be more accessible than this airport, because this airport has direct flights from Singapore, Bangkok, Phuket, and that's about it for now, today. And basically, do you want Koh Phangan to have more accessibility? I mean, I'm thinking about like places in Mexico where people can just fly in from the United States in like a couple to 2 to 5 hours and basically just like feel like they run the place. Whereas Koh Phangan, you feel like you have to travel. You have to go there, and you have to go on a journey into a different time zone, into a different continent, into all this sort of stuff. And this Samui Airport is very beautiful. I mean, look at this. Very beautiful. However, you still have to take a ferry, and the ferries only go until sundown every day. And to get to Koh Phangan, yeah, it's relatively inaccessible, but it's very accessible because you do have this airport, and the ferry ride is only half an hour from here. So what do you think, guys? Is it like really better to leave it like this, or should they build a bridge or an airport in Koh Phangan? I don't think so. I mean, I'm happy, you know, staying for longer and going further to get there because it's just so much better. So again, folks, waiting for my flight, I'm sitting in this restaurant because it has air conditioning and because I don't want to be in the heat for too many hours a day. And well, it's good. I mean, you can always find a place that has air conditioning. It's just when you go to events in Koh Phangan, yeah, it most of the time will be outside, and you won't have, yeah, that comfort. And people say like, Eric, why do you want to live in a place where you don't like the climate? It's like, yeah, but I like it much more than winter, where they have to warm the inside so that you can. I like being outside when it's like 35 degrees much more than I like being outside when it's 5 degrees, let's say, or less than 5 degrees. It's just about finding that balance where you can feel comfortable and be productive, and that's the most important thing to me. And luckily in both climates it works, but I find being outside when it's like this a lot more comfortable. Yeah, as I said, yeah. So here I am in the restaurant getting their version of a Caesar salad, and we'll see how that works out. Alright folks, so this is what my Caesar salad looks like. The picture had something which resembled croutons, but this does not. It has cherry tomatoes instead. Right, so I'm gonna enjoy this chicken Caesar salad right now, and then I'm gonna fly to Phuket. Yeah! Hey folks, so it's the next morning and I'm here in Phuket and I'm staying at this resort. I think I was like, there's one other person staying here, and some more devastation of the tourism sector, which I just was not seeing in Koh Phangan, which was just so live. And yeah, just walking down the street here, I mean, I'm ready to leave Thailand, but I love Thailand and specifically Koh Phangan, so it's kind of sad, but I know I can come back here whenever I want. My life has been set up so I can come back here whenever I want, hopefully with new purpose and a rejuvenated sort of vision for who I'm going to be when I come back. So yeah, it's been good. I'm off to London. I'm right by the airport, like 2 minutes driving from the airport, and so I'm ready to just like bounce there and get on a 12-hour flight to London. 12-hour flight, wow. But then I'll be in London for 4 days. So I guess I'll sum up this video there. Alright, here we go. Off to London where masks are not required. But I still think they're gonna make me wear it on the flight. Ah!
Thank you very much.
And this is the special moment when masks are not required anymore. Pretty fucking good, eh? Yeah. Alright, being a Maskafarian for like 2 years now, I mean, it really is disorienting, like, to not have it. Of course, some people are still wearing them, but I'm not. And yeah, I don't know. Here we go, from today. New life, I suppose. Yeah, without a mask. Whoa! Hey folks, so it's Erik on the streets of London now, and I can definitely say leaving Koh Phangan really feels bad now that I see this like London weather, and there's even people walking around like in shorts and t-shirt, and it's 11 degrees outside, and like yeah. My impression is, yeah, Koh Phangan is really where I want to be, especially after I see this, especially after I see like London as it is today. I mean, it's really good that they've abolished the mask restrictions and all that stuff, but yeah, not my vibe at all, and I miss Thailand. So I'm going to Serbia tomorrow morning, and I expect that I will be in a much better mood when I arrive there. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching Rising Nomad, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.